It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we got a beer from Food Factory in Finland, and this is a can of their, hopefully I pronounce it right, Bjo rko Barley wine. It's a 10% ABV barley wine in a 440 milliliter can. I mean, they're a completely different country, Finland and the UK, but in the UK we have a company called Salt Beer Factory, and they've got that very similar kind of hexagon-like branding on their cans. But I think what I'd say about Food Factory's hexagons is they're probably a little bit smaller. Nobody's getting sued though, are they? I mean, it's two different countries. Salt Beer Company's not trying to sell beer in Finland, and Food Factory are not trying to sell beer in the UK, so who cares, eh? There's so many breweries out there now. Some of the stuff's going to look slightly similar, isn't it, on the side of a can? Thank you so very much to Budweiser for sending me this can. This is a kind of a new brewery for me. I've had one previous beer from them, which I quite liked. It was quite good. So I'm super excited to get into another Food Factory beer. Let's get it out into a glass, see what we get. A little bit of spillage on the hand, but you know, that's okay. It proves you got a full can of beer when you get a little splash on the hand. One finger, tan coloured head, good levels of carbonation, lots of sediment, lots of suspension in the glass there. It's a deep mahogany coloured, almost like a cherry red mahogany coloured beer with lots of suspension, lots of particles in the beer, and that gives me a lot of confidence. That gives me a lot of confidence in the beer. Some people, if they're new to craft beer, will look at this and go, oh my goodness me, what's going on there? They won't fully understand it. But for me, seeing all that sediment, it means the beer is going to be really flavoursome. Really, really flavoursome. It's going to be absolutely, you know, chock full of flavour, because what happens is most beers look like this, and the brewery choose to clean up the beer, to make it sparkling, to you know, really bright to look at. You could, like, clean as a whistle looking through the glass. Very clean beer. But what happens is all the good stuff, all that really good stuff in the beer is getting thrown down the drain. A lot of the quality that's in that beer is being thrown away. I'm glad there's breweries out there that decide to leave all of that sediment in, because for people like me, I don't care what the beer looks like as long as it tastes great. I really, you know, I don't drink with my eyes, do I? Drink with my mouth. Let's get the nose on this beer. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Rich toffee, apple, toffee flavours coming through. Oh, it smells fantastic. Nutty, bready, biscuity, sweet toffee. Oh, it smells fantastic. Slightly hoppy, a little bit of hop profile coming through. Oh, this smells good. You know, when I get a beer like this, I'm standing here, I'm about to drink it for the first time, I realise how lucky I am. How lucky I am to be able to stand here and do this, and you know, bring you all of these different beers, and I just feel so lucky to have this opportunity, because the beers, this is right up my street. This is the type of beer I'll drink for fun. To get to do it and to show you guys on YouTube, it's a real pleasure. Cheers, everybody. Oh, Stone the Crows. Stone the Crows. What a beer. Top quality beer, this. Oh. I want to start off with the mouthfeel. The rich, creamy mouthfeel. There's flavours of licorice coming through, plum, fig, prune, dark fruits coming through, biscuity, bready, nuttiness coming through. Oh, a little bit of spicy pepperiness from the hops. But that nuttiness, that biscuitiness, that breadiness, that slight sweetness over there to balance out that bitterness over here. It's just wonderful, absolutely wonderful beer. Well done, Food Factory. This is just phenomenal. Look at this. And then just adding a little bit of that 1/4 inch in the bottom of the can, then just chucking that in. That's just made for an even better beer. It's even more kind of sedimenty. Look at it. I'll be able to spin the beer around a bit more and show you the... I mean, some of you will be able to see, look at the small bubbles. Look at the... I mean, I'll drink some down and we'll really wash the beer around in the glass. But you can see the quality. You can see the quality of the head. You can see you can see the mouthfeel. As I rock it back and forth, you can see that carbonation struggling to get back up to the head there. That's a sign that there's big body in the beer. The carbonation's struggling to push past the liquid. Oh, it's so good. Every time you taste the beer, you pick up a different flavour. So that flavour was dominated by licorice. A real big hit of licorice. But then you're still able to kind of, like, the body is incredible. I don't think the breweries used oats in the beer. I've not looked at the back of the can. We do, I mean, it's all in the wonderful language of Finland, so I'm not going to be able to read it anyway. But this is more of, they've used enough malt in the beer. So most of you know this, but I'll mention it very quickly to the people who don't know this on the channel, that by adding malt, you then create sugar. Very simple. I'm just using very basic stuff here. I'm not going to get too technical. The reason why brewers add malt to beer is because they want to extract the sugar from the malt so the yeast can then eat that sugar and turn it into alcohol. In simple terms, very simple terms, we're all drinking yeast poo. You know, that's how I like to call it. Very simplistic way of looking at things. The yeast eats the sugar and craps out alcohol. We all love it, don't we? Woo, we all love it. So of course, the more malt you add to a beer, the more sugars you're creating, the higher the ABV. So this one's got up to 10% ABV. So they've had to add an awful lot of malt to the beer. By adding an awful lot of malt to the beer, you're making the beer really lovely and creamy and rich. That's very simplistic. If somebody wants to put a rather large comment in the comments box down below about the more of a in-depth brewing comment, then they're very welcome to do so, for all of our newer viewers who are watching to be able to read it and understand it. I'm going to rate this. There we are. I promised you a better look at there we are. Washing the beer around in the glass. Look at that. Look at the small carbonation chasing, struggling to get through that malty liquid. Wonderful. Looks good, smells good. Tastes incredible. That is a beer to behold. I like that enough to give it a Stone the Crows 10 out of 10. So 10 out of 10 beer from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.